Hello, everybody. Welcome to this first recorded class. I decided to record these classes, online classes, because I think it's a great way for you to review whatever we saw in our class, or it is also a good way for you to catch up in case you missed one class or you couldn't come to the class. So without further ado, let's go and have a look at what we saw the other day in our class. I'm going to share my screen so you can see what I see on my computer. Okay. We started talking about nouns in our first class, and I told you that nouns are very important in Spanish, and they are one of the most important type of words in Spanish. And we saw that nouns in Spanish are just words that we use to name objects or people or animals. And unlike English, Spanish nouns will always have a gender. Any noun in Spanish will be either masculine or feminine. We had a look at some examples, I think, but I can give you some more. For example, the word micrófono, which means microphone. That is a male word. Later on, we will see the rule, so you can use that rule to identify or recognize when a word is male or female. But the words in English, the nouns in English, in Spanish, sorry, they will always have a gender. They will always be either masculine or feminine. In this case, it's a masculine word. Or for example, the word cama. Cama is a bed, and that is a female word. So any word can be either put in this category, male, or in this other category, female. Vale. Nouns in Spanish, they will always have a gender. Sorry, they will always have a number as well. So they are going to be either singular. They talk about one single object, one single person, one single animal. Or they can be made plural. They will be referring to more than one object, more than one animal, more than one person. Examples. Well, I was giving you before the word cama. That is a bed. Well, that is singular. That is just one bed. But if I add an S, if I have the word camas, that would be a plural word. That would be referring to more than one bed. Vale. Now that we know that nouns will always be either masculine or feminine, singular or plural, and we can always put them in one of those categories, we have to have a look at the rule that there is behind that. How do we know when a noun is male or female, singular or plural? Well, here the first rectangle that we have here, that is, here we have the rule that explains why a word is going to be masculine or feminine. This rule is not very reliable. Let's say that we can use this rule in 70% of the words, and there will be another 30% left that will be exceptions, and those exceptions won't follow this rule. So that's why I think it's quite important for you to learn new nouns, not just isolated, but also to learn the word, the new word, and the gender that that word has. But since this is the only rule that we have, let's use it and let's study this rule. Vale. This rule says that words will be masculine if they end with an O For example, here we have a couple of examples. We have the word gato. Gato is a word ending with an O, so it is masculine. That is a cat. Or I can give you more examples. That is a common ending. For example, the word saco, which is a sack, that would be masculine. Or the word, let me think. Well, typical word, perro, male as well, a dog, male dog. Or there are many. It's simply that they don't come to mind at the moment. Okay, horno is an oven. It ends with an O, it's masculine. Words will always be, or almost always, nearly always, will always be masculine if they end with a consonant, such as, for example, tren, which is a train. It finishes with an N, so that is going to be a male word. Or for example, raton, that is a mouse. It ends with another N. It is masculine. And then we have the letter E. Words can be sometimes masculine if they end with an E, but an E can also be feminine. So we will never know. How do we know? Simply by becoming familiar with those nouns. An E is going always to be, we will hesitate when we have a word with an E unless we know the word beforehand. So yeah, O, word ending with an O, definitely masculine. Word ending with a consonant, definitely masculine. Let's have a look at feminine. Feminine words, they will normally end with an A. For example, casa, here, the word casa is a house. It ends with an A, feminine word. And there are many others. This is a common, very common ending for feminine words. For example, mama, a mom, your mom, female. Or, let me think. Piscina, it's a swimming pool. Ends with an A, feminine. Vale, more endings. We already saw the E. A final E can be both male or female, so we will never know. Vale, and there are some specific endings that will indicate that the word is feminine. Endings such as ción, and a good example would be habitación, this word in here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this word in here, habitación. As you can see, it has that ending, C-I-O-N. All those words ending with ción, they tend to be feminine. Those words ending with sion, S-I-O-N, such as televisión, they tend to be feminine as well. And another common ending that will indicate that the word is feminine is D-A-D, such as universidad, university, which is a feminine word as well. So let's recap. Any single noun will have a gender, so it will be either masculine or feminine. Any single noun will have a number, which means that they will be either singular or plural. And how do we know if a noun is masculine or feminine? How do we know the gender of a noun? Well, masculine words will end with an O or with a final consonant, or sometimes with an E. Feminine words will end with an A, with some specific endings such as ción, sion, or dad, or sometimes with an E. This rule that I have just given you is not 100% reliable, so there will be some exceptions. So we have to be careful for those exceptions. And that's it. Let's continue. What about now number, singular or plural? Well, normally plural words are easy to spot because they will end with an S. So for example, if you see the word tomates, that means tomate is tomato or tomato. If you see the S at the end, it means that it's more than one. Okay, so words ending with an S tend to be plural, and those words that don't end with an S tend to be singular. Now, I think more important than recognizing when a word is singular or plural, it's important to be able to turn one singular word into a plural word. So for example, the word tomate, how do we make plural that word? Well, I have already told you, it's tomates, but it will always be like that. It will always be adding an S, the way we use to make a single word plural. No, not always. There are basically two possibilities. And here you have them. If a singular word ends with any letter, if singular words will end with any letter but an S, well, that's already what I told you. That's the way you recognize a word that is singular. And plural words, they normally end with an S. But how do we turn that word into singular word into plural? Well, if a word ends with a vowel, an A, or an E, or an I, or an O, or a U, it's easy. To make that word plural, you simply add an S. So any word ending with any of those vowels, you just add an S and that's it. But what if the word ends with a consonant? For example, the word tren. That is a train. That is not an A or an E or an I or an O or a U. So what do we do in those cases? We add an ES. So that tren becomes trenes to make it plural. Or for example, the word, another example that you have here. See, habitación. That word ends with an N. That is a bedroom. That is a consonant. So for vowels, it's very easy. You just add an S. A, E, I, O, U. You just add an S and that's it. What about this? This is not a vowel, it's a consonant. We add ES. So remember, words ending with a vowel, just an S. Words ending with a consonant, ES. That's the way we turn a singular word into a plural word. Okay, so I think this is it. I hope you understood everything. I hope this helped you. And I'll see you in another video in the future. Bye-bye, guys.